It's that time of the year when I think we all start making, our favorite desserts. I have a kind of cookie that I make. I have pumpkin bread that I love. One of my favorite recipes is apple crisp. So I thought I would show you what I love to do. This is my favorite. It's a quick and easy recipe. Hair's up because we're cooking. And I have lots of apples. I belong to a CSA and there's a farm down the street from me. I'm really lucky when it comes to that. So first, let's get our dry ingredients in a bowl. So we've got 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of sugar, a teaspoon of baking powder, and 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Very simple. We're also going to put in 1 unbeaten egg. So I have a plain egg. I'm going to put it in here. After I mix this together, hold on. Let's get a little whisk here. You can see nothing exciting there, just exactly what I said. I'm going to hold off on the egg for just a minute till I get the apples done. Also, I just want to show you, in case you're a newbie cook for some reason, the right way to actually scoop flour. So flour really should be, you want to loosen the flour up and then you want to scoop it in lightly like that to your cup, whatever your measure is going to be, and then level it off. Don't pack it in because that actually changes the measurement. So hopefully you find that worthwhile. All right, let's get on with the cooking here. God forbid I wouldn't make a mess. All right, let's get our apples cut up. And I'm actually also melting some, 1/3 of a cup of butter that we're going to use to pour over the top. This is a very simple recipe. So that's just about done. We're going to, let's do this first. Okay, we're going to spray our dish with some cooking spray. You can use an 8x8 pan, whatever works for you. The number of apples really just depends on what size your dish is. If you're using an 8x8, maybe you're going to use 5. Are your apples small or your apples large? That just makes a difference. Okay, let's get to cutting up apples. What do you want to use to cut you're going to peel the apples and core them, obviously. So you can do that several ways. Maybe you have one of those spinners. I used to have one. I don't know what happened to it. It got lost in transition somewhere. You can use a paring knife. You can just use a peeler. In the essence of time today, I'm going to just use a peeler so I can show you quickly. All right. Once you have it peeled, this is a trick that I saw Rachel Ray do once. Okay, so I'm going to cut this down the center. I'm going to cut it again right through where the core is. The easiest way I found to get rid of the seeds in the core is to cut on an angle like that. And then we're going to just cut our apples into pieces and throw them in our dish. I don't do this before I'm actually ready to get something in the oven, because otherwise you would need to put some lemon juice on your apples so they don't start turning. Again, what I find is how many apples you need is kind of based on the size of your dish. This recipe, I think, works really well with either an 8x8 or a 9x9 square baking dish. Like a glass one or a Corning one, something like that. And but I like this pretty decorative dish. I'm going to give it to a friend whose husband just came home from the hospital today. So let's finish getting all these apples done. And I'm going to speed this part up so I don't have to. I'll try not to talk. I have a very bad habit of talking after I have said I'm going to speed up a video. So it's really just that simple. You can see I don't get all the apples cut and then put them in the dish. I do it as I'm filling the dish up because sometimes I want more. I mean, you want it filled nice because obviously apples are going to condense while they cook, but I mean, you don't want it massive either over the top because once you put the filling on, you're going to have some more volume. So let's now get our egg in there, one unbeaten egg. So we're going to put the egg in. And we're just going to mix this up with a fork. This is going to make our crumb mixture on the top. You can do this also. I've seen a lot of recipes that use oats. Just your choice. I am always, if possible, I'm using mixed apples. So I buy a lot of McGowan's. I have Honeycrisps. I have Empires. So it just depends what I have. Also, it's a good opportunity to use up apples that have been sitting here for a little while, and maybe they're not, as desirable now to eat. Okay, we're almost done. You can see how quick this is. The longest part of this whole process is cutting up the apples. And if my husband's home and he wants apple crisp, I make him cut the apples. Okay, so let me just show you. You have a nice crumble mixture here. Hopefully you can see that right there. Nice and crumbly. All right. And we are going to just spread this over our apples. Like I said, we have a nice greased dish here. We're going to spread this over the top. Try to cover your apples. Okay, this is really how I do it. I just kind of dump it on and spread it around. All right. Tuck your apples in if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. All right, next phase. Next thing is we're going to, that 1/3 of a cup of melted butter, we're going to pour that over the top. Oh, sorry, I should have the pan the other direction so you can see that. And then we're going to take cinnamon and we're going to sprinkle this over the top. Now, every oven is a little bit different. I find, I mean, you want this to cook until it's bubbly. That's typically a good probably 45 minutes on 350. So we'll let that cook, and then I'll show you when it's finished, what it looks like. Okay, let's get this baby out of the oven. All right, perfect. All right, you can see. Whoa, great. This is bubbling away. So the apples are cooked. Let me get you in a little bit closer there so you can see it. There we go. All bubbling away. Now I'm just going to let it cool, and I'm going to bring it over to my friend. I hope you found this interesting. I will put the recipe down below. And if you need more information, just let me know. Please subscribe. Let me know if you want me to do more of these kind of videos over the winter. You know, once winter really comes up on us, you know, we're not going to be outside doing gardening, obviously. You know, we can be doing seed starting and doing some other things. And I am going to do a video on houseplants. Somebody asked me to do, but if there's something you want me to do, let me know. I have a couple of other my favorite recipes that I'd like to share with you. So let me know what you think. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.